starting.
Okay, we were lucky this time.
So you may want to get yourself organized.
10 to 5, okay.
We're back online.
We're back online.
Yeah.
Do we have 5 minutes? More or less. You're going to take in more? Well, I don't know. It looks like it. It looks like a big more. Okay. Oh, he's going to serve sushi?
I use that as a palette. Yeah,
You're going to cook for us?
It's my own fault, really. I have to be better about it.
You're going to do another demonstration, I think.
yeah.
Okay, that's why they're bringing their chairs up.
More people are using.
Is this in the beginning?
Please come to the front desk. I'm going to do a demo.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Plenty of room. Mulberry has a lot of I guess. No. This will work. If you come up front, I'd like to have everybody's attention for a minute, please. There you go. Right in there. Okay, Henry, on behalf of the Sumier Society, we would like to thank you very much for spending your time here, you and Victoria. We've enjoyed the workshop very much. And Keiko, one of our members, did this little shikishi board painting for you. And on the back, we have signed our names and written a little message of thanks.
Thank you, Linda,
Thank you
for
very
your for this special gift. This is shikishi board.
Keiko is this
And
one right here.
yeah,
did that
Keiko,
painting.
thank you, Keiko. This classroom is filled with teachers and masters already. So I'm very honored to share my experience and knowledge with you. So let's get started, because somebody are going to leave in about an hour. So we try to finish the demo within an hour. Then you can do your exercise. Okay. I try to. There are many ways to start up a painting. We can start from the distant ground, or start from a focus, the darkest part. We can start from anywhere. If you have a whole image in your mind. But what if you don't have anything to start? The best inspiration I found is to have some mindless pouring ink or splashing ink or just play, to get some accidental effect or texture to come up with landscape painting. I'm talking about landscape painting. So one of the techniques I use is plexiglass. I got these two pieces from my host, Judy, hostess, and we sand it. It's thin acrylic glass. So we just dumped some ink on that, and then we'll create some texture. And then we make a monoprint. Yeah. So it's good to use a big brush in this kind of play. Just use that. And you can use some ink and some opaque color as well. I just would wash my palette. it's good to have some teach stuff. I normally use the porridge, kind of, what do you call this? Not porridge, just paste from mountain. Yeah, when I have the remaining paste from mountain, I usually just use them as media to create what we call the encaustic effect. Encaustic effect. So let's say, yeah, you can just. I try not to use brush, just dripping, just dump some ink and some. Let's just use some color. I don't know what's in it. Is it? Oh, I got gold.
All right. Nice. I love gold.
Tight to loose.
Yeah.
We got some cinnabar, some gold, and some stone green. Okay, here we go. We use another piece of glass. Just press it, and just this it could be like that, So we got very heavy color. Yeah, let's see. This is a kind of heavy. What we do is I try maybe spread it a little bit more. So it's like oil. I think it's too heavy. So we should spread it a little bit.
Nice.
Spread it a little bit and do it again maybe with another paper. I think what we have in hand. No, the silicone release paper is a good non-absorbent paper, right? Wax paper. And yeah, you can crinkle it. Yeah, just use any butcher's.
Just as long as it's stiff.
Just kind of. It will not take my colors. I can put it under it, something like that. So let's say I can print it right here, just like that. Wrinkled, printed, yeah, just monoprint, right? Just underpainting, just for texture, some texture. I'm doing the Yellow Mountain, just like
Monkey rock.
So let's do the squeezing again with this glass.
Your mouth is open, no money.
I know. It's like, what is she doing?
Let's just twist a little bit. This way. Oh, got it.
He got it. He got what he wanted. Yay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the encaustic effect.
Oh. Ah. Oh boy. Don't do this on your white carpet.
Oh, I got my costumes. So this is a little dangerous for that. For your artist, that's about it. Let me see the distance mountains.
What kind of paper?
This is mulberry number 2, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Texture. Cloud dragon.
Which side of the paper are you on?
It should be smooth side. But if it's wrong, we can turn it over. It's not too late to decide. Let's see. I just want to make another peak out of it. This one right here.
You can't see me doing that.
Now I can.
Got it.
Ah. Balance. Balance. Good balance.
Okay. So I think that's all what I need for now.
Wow.
I put this aside.
Now we can breathe.
Don't step on that.
It's not what I thought it was.
Okay, so
Good.
because we have a time limit, I just keep working. Okay. I use the go-to brush. I got some ink. The raccoon hair brush. You can use a split brush.
Here.
But I just show you a new brush. A good brush could also make it, like split. If you use the brush roughly, like that, you can create a split brush effect. Then when the brush is split, use the partial split brush to draw details like trees. Just plowing. We call it plowing. Like pointing up to the direction you move. And this is a tree, I think. In the beginning, you work to capture the qi, the breath or the energy. There must be some reason that my parents call me morning sunshine, so I always paint morning sunshine. Okay, the first layer should be a little dark, and the second layer lighter, and as I said, the mist is the moisture in the rock or the tree, so you don't paint any shape. And when you get to the distance, you need to save the white. Put another cliff there, this yellow mountain. The brush is not ruined. It will come back, yeah. So before you go wet, you make it, dry base. So it gets a bone in there. If you paint directly with pouring ink, there's no under painting with dry structure. It kind of just like we call fat 墨珠 ink pig. No bone. More pig, ink pig. Pig, P-I-G. Too soft, yeah. So there's a dryness. You start from dark and then put water in it to get the flow of mist and clouds. Mist. Okay. The distant mountain That's the horizon kind of. Ridge should be clear, the dragon vein, the ridge of the mountain. Turns. I don't want to destroy my effect, but that's okay. Let's just show you, some inspiration. You don't have to. I think that's not the drinking. I think I put it. Okay, so now I create more mist effect, but don't lose all the white. The water to be in the white area, and then kind of run into the forest or the rock to create the flow of qi, the qi yu yin, Let me add more ink before I pour water. I may call this pouring water technique to create a mist effect. That's a peak.
You're gonna get a bath.
Clean water. Okay, just let it. I think we have to turn horizontally so the water won't.
Federica, watch the fishy.
Oh, yeah, I've already put it.
Yeah. Can you put it on?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Put someplace safe.
Good idea.
Think it's safe enough?
Yeah, should be.
I try to just use one brush. So the water will go to the place like they created a path. If you want the water to go, you just lead it like that. Like the foot of the mountain should be foggy, right? The very rough, not cut. So you do this first, and then add water. I'm sorry.
That's why I did this. Usually I'm the
This
one that does
this is the what's the zone they have in Disneyland? The danger zone, the water zone, wet zone,
Splash zone.
splash zone, splash zone. So you're sitting in the splash zone. Sorry. I think there should be some layer difference. So let me see. I got lost in the composition. Anyway, I have to use water to just to let it.
exactly what it's doing.
Just let it to do the work for me. Let the water do the work. Oh yeah, well, yeah. Usually we put this on and we go for dinner. And come back after dinner. We can use hair dryer, but it will take effect into 20 minutes to half an hour before you do the drying. So just let me clean up.
What is this called?
What
The
is
technique.
the technique? I don't know. Just go with the flow.
Literally.
GWTF.
What is it? Oh, go with the flow.
GWTF.
Oh, GWTF. GWTF. Yeah.
Plexi, yeah.
It's better than WTF, isn't it?
What's that?
That means, wow, that's fantastic.
Quick save.
She made it up.
Oh, my niece taught me that.
Well, it's the splashy technique, isn't it? What's different?
The monoprint on top. The monoprint on top. That's the difference.
See, I try to make sense of this red thing. Should I do a sun or something? Shoot. Yeah, this is clean water, so it should be light there. I can wash the sky with a little bit pink.
Marcy, no trouble going to Andy Warhol now.
No, not at all.
Transition.
More Jason Pollock, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very powerful.
That came
Jason,
after.
that my favorite American artist too. Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock is your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah, American artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have the tripping.
Yeah, dripping.
Tripping. Okay.
I think he saw Asian brush painters,
Right.
and that's why he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
look
could
at.
have.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think this brush is kind of dirty.
Would you like some clean water? I'll get you clean water.
Yes. Maybe I just use my watercolor. It's, okay, I have the palette with watercolors. I'm going to do the sky with some orange color.
This is doing the sky. That's the one I'm like.
Thank you very much. Let's just do the sky. It's some Napoleon yellow, I think. Naples, yeah. Naples yellow.
What else could you use beside the acrylic?
Acrylic,
For your
gouache, watercolor. I use just watercolor. There's no acrylic.
No, I mean the
your
plate.
plate.
For your plate. Plexiglass.
You can
Oh.
use a plastic called Duralar. It's an overlay plastic for illustrators. Comes in a pad. It's thin, but it does a nice monoprint. Duralar.
Thank you for the information. I think because the dark background you cannot really see well. Let's put a piece of white paper under it. Let's see. If I lift it, can you insert it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got one corner there.
No problem.
Oh
That's
my
better.
gosh, what a difference.
Yeah.
You need
the
white
colors.
felt and black felt. You're right.
Pops out.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's about it. Just
Wow. What
just
fun.
wait and see.
Yeah.
Because it's still at work. So I can still add a
Still in
little bit
motion.
there with some dark like trunk of a tree to indicate the scale, like how tall the tree is.
So the peach sap blue will work for lighting monoprint.
What was that?
The peach sap blue will work for light ink monoprinting, because otherwise it's too wet. Yeah.
Yeah, that holds the color in place. I can put some dark under this. It will help to support the. Actually, you should have a base for the opaque green always, because it will look chalky without the dark. So that's I can add to the back. Paint. And also yellow could be better with the dark. Yeah, on the back. You can paint it on the front, or you can just put it on the back.
Like the paint on the top of a big sheet of glass, like from a painting you've taken apart, and then put the paper over it, lift it off, but you only get one really good print.
Monoprint.
Yeah, but I mean the way he kept going back with it, that you don't have the
Multi-print.
quite that same opportunity, but you can do a big sheet. It's not the same, but it's a neat effect.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting.
Unexpected.
Unexpected.
Yeah, because sometimes the monoprint you can get the second goes, the
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's like jelly plate.
Yeah, so it's different.
I tried to maybe too much work. You start at 70% of what you expect, and some artists correct me saying you should start at 50%.
Yeah. You have to know where to start.
Yeah. Okay. After it dries, you can still add some like birds or things like that.
Will you be doing that?
I'm not sure. I think the problem. I didn't have the reference in front of me, so I didn't really save good amount of white. What we can do is you crop it. That's why you start large, and you just, if you don't like it, you cut it into a smaller piece. So I think it might be good just to cut it, trim it like that.
Then you have a whole new thing down here to do.
Yeah. So if you think it's good, now we can use a hair dryer to dry it, see how it looks like. Let me lift it. Let me lift it and show you if you want.
Yeah. You can see the.
This way a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Real water and imaginary.
See, this paper is so tough. You can do everything without worry about.
That green is fabulous.
I know, isn't it? It's one of my favorites. Yeah, that does.
Those emerald.
Out.
Yeah, I think I got some colors on the back that create waterfalls in the valley, which is nice because the paper behind. I'm not sure. Oh, actually, it's on the painting. It's not on the backing paper. On the silicone paper.
Now, what do you want us to do?
You can copy the handout.
How does this? Now you get to your palette.
No. This is the one without the. I did this one without the first part. Not printing. Just just use the split brush, dark, and then you use water to create a mist. Yes.
Okay.
I can do that maybe while we wait this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
With how many? Yeah, I should do a demo
only
with another
1:30,
demo.
yeah.
Was it?
Only
Yeah.
1:30.
Let me do another one, and then wait this to dry and
Where
put this
should
on
we
the
put
on the
that?
on the ground, or just hang it.
Ooh, on the wall, I don't think so.
I just put it here.
Are we leaving the go back to home? You're scrubbing the
A bitter on the floor. Thank you very much.
It's okay. I think. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do the split brush technique. Okay. I think I have a cut piece here.
Yes, you do.
So to show you clearly, I just put on the paper. Football Shi, the master who invented this, always do with a newspaper on table without felt actually, because he wants that, you know, this the hard padding, and that the ink do the work without it absorbed by the felt. Yeah. So he used newspaper padding. Okay. Yeah. This is the oxy hair brush. Oxy hair. Small one. So just start with dark. The light will be created with water. So don't worry about that. But if you have a larger brush, you can use just a double or multiple load. So the brush has different tones. You can load the brush with light. Just put it in here. Better? See? Yeah. Okay. Then you put some part of the brush is dark, right? Yeah. So let's do this. So I push the brush like that. See? To create that. Yeah.
Is that the stippling brush?
Yeah, stippling brush. This is the one I created. I cut it, but you can buy a new one like that, similar to that. Yeah, it's a shorter like that. So this one we'll do the stippling later. So in the beginning, I don't do the trees of the dots. I just created the veins of the the contour and the texture, the twin, the wrinkles. We call it the wrinkle. Yeah, the wrinkles. With a dry brush. Don't worry about the wet part. Just dry brush. Because some part is dark, some part is light at this point. Okay. And I can do all the. So set up the composition first early, so I don't lose the white.
You want to wait here?
Yes, thank you. So this is the distance, so I make sure this is lighter, drier. You don't have to copy exactly. I'd like to create more of a, like a, the rhythm of the low and high mountains there. Distant mountain tends to be down too big, right? So make it small. Oops, kind of dark. Add some water to do the tree in the mist. If it doesn't split, just use this old brush. So for the pine trees, they're kind of like horizontal for stroke for the, and then you just needles. Yeah, just go like short details from the. See, that's how I create the pine tree effect. It's sweeping from horizontally, and then that or use this dry brush. Don't try to depict the final effect yet, because it will be created with more water later. Now the more important is to create the bone and of the rock and the tree with the dark ink. Partial dark ink brush can also be used. Like I use only partial hair to create that. It's no control because you cannot really use a small brush to depict. You just paint with the idea. When that appears, stop. You may have an idea to do it, but guided accident, what they call that. Yeah, so it's just lots of guided accident with this kind of brush. Speed is important to keep the flow. Add water to lots of water, more than you think, because the paper does not really bleed, smear. It absorbs, but not really smeared. Don't be afraid to use water.
You ever tear a hole in your paper?
You think so? No?
No, do you ever?
Never. That's why I prevent it from that happening, because this paper underneath it will not let me go through.
Yeah.
The pressure is. That's why you use. You can take the felt off. Just use a newspaper. That prevents it from making holes.
I did the whole first thing.
The hole, because there's a soft, right? It's more
On the
like
soft.
on a soft padding. It's thick. Yeah, this paper is very strong paper. It's like a dollar bill. Okay, just add more water now. Same brush, but just damping waters. But don't lose all the white. It's just, these are not poured on. You can still start from dry, dry and then become lighter and then lighter. But this kind of stroke only on foreground and middle ground, maybe not on the distant ground. The dots, linear perspective, stroke detail perspective. Okay, I just use this brush to make the tree trunk. And some lichens maybe. And I just use black watercolor. That's handy. Yeah. Okay. This is the trick. If you use this kind of brush, the wet has dry in it. It has little pockets of dry spot that helps to balance. If you only pour ink without the stroke, it's dead, wet. It's fat ink tick. Right. So you kind of see, that's the way to do it. And then add clean water to even soften more the edges. You can also use some color now, like indigo. for the tree, I think, for the tree. And rock should be brown. So this is called the brown and indigo landscape, light brown and light indigo. 浅酱. 浅酱, how do you say? I don't know. Just this kind of color, mix of indigo and amber. Yeah. So
Brown and blue, gray. Yeah, gray blue.
yeah, that's
Traditional.
yeah, that's a very traditional color. So just yellow mountain color. Yeah, the leaves some white. Yeah. And some more yellow. Just make it more yellow. I think that's just the distance could be a little more blue in your perspective. I said there's no doubts, but I did. You can just watch the sky. So the cloud shows more white. It's a mix of the yellow and brown and the French ultramarine. French ultramarine to squeeze out the negative paint the mountains. This part. This tree is in mist. Oh, it's good. Okay. No detailed trees on that. Wrong. Should be fine. Okay, let's just put some more water. I want to soften this part and use a small brush. Just go to the trees. Cold color in the distance. I think same idea as the watercolor. Okay. When I start to paint with small brush, I tend to lose the whole movement. So just keep using this maybe.
Why do you do that?
Well, I don't know.
It's instinctive.
Just
Soften it.
you know, soften it.
Soften
Cover maybe something. Okay, I think I am overdoing things now.
It's like stop, no one to stop.
Yeah, time to stop. So let me see. Let's just see.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I hope it will dry lighter. The distance should be not too dark.
Wow, yeah.
So let's just dry it with maybe the hair dryer, so you can see it before we leave. Huh? 跟他们画了。Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
我看我也可以裱起来就完了。Let's just mount it. I think maybe that's the easiest way. So again, dry mounting when it's still wet. Oops. Yeah.
While you dry mount, I think we'll try our hand at what you've done. That's
Sure.
okay.
You can go back. I'll show you the result. You already see I did it before. Yeah. You don't have to stay. Yeah, I'll dry mount it with the silicone. You just take the. Can you hold that for me? Okay.
Scenery in the darker or stormy side.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the painting is smaller than the silicone, so I'll cut the extra off, just to make sure it will not stick.
I love it. I do too. Maybe when he was doing it, it seemed very strange, but it's beautiful. When you see the composition.
This is how I do it. I don't have to use a ruler, just measure it and with the painting itself.
What is this? Silicone.
We're using silicone mounting paper to mount it. It's a dry mounting, but you can do it with while the painting is still wet with an iron. So you dry the painting and dry mount.
2 steps in one.
2 steps in one. Can you help me with cutting the extras? Oh, don't cut the painting. It's very easy to do this, right? no other tools. Okay, here we go. The painting. The silicone film.
Right on top here.
Right, yeah, on
It's
top.
Okay.
Okay, and we use another piece of paper. Let me see, where's the paper?
Can you get it? This one. Step back here.
I see a swamp there.
Let's just put more pieces on it because it's kind of wet. I want to blot it.
So this could be craft paper, just like white butcher paper? Or
Yeah, we can use drawing paper.
cheap paper.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, we got the iron. Just iron it with some blotting paper on it.
It is so fast.
Looks like this is the only way to go.
Oh, it's a. So we turn on the I don't know what's the silk, just to estimate. It's getting warm. You can use cold iron just to like settle it before you fix it. This is also blotting paper. It could be, you blot it. You see, this is You make it the two pieces kind of
Dries it
Yeah.
out.
it will stick to the silicone. Yeah, when you heat set it, I mean activate the silicone with heat. You're not now it's getting warm. I try to work slower, give me more time to work. If you use high temperature iron, it could be done in a minute, but you got a lot of wrinkles. That's what happened.
Oh, this is helping to see the mounting.
Yeah, this is you see it's not mounted yet because it's wet, but I
Still
can.
good and wet.
Yeah, you can still wait. You know, if you don't like it, just you can still work on it because the master football he will mount a half done painting with the mounting master working for him, and then go back. He sometimes just rip
It
off.
strengthens your
Yeah.
paper.
You can rip off some unwanted part and have it mounted, mounting master fix it, and then you continue. So you can do patches.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's why I was asking.
yeah. So, but once you mount it, patching is not possible, but you can still paint it. You can still paint the details, and I haven't signed it, right? So you can keep working.
So I guess now we order mounting paper.
Yes.
Method to your madness, but seeing how to do it. You could read about this for a week and still not feel confident. But
Look at the video. Dry mount it. It comes up on
we can have Henry Lee anytime we want, right?
Yeah.
Day or night.
I gradually increase the temperature, so you now I start to set it to activate the adhesive. You set the temperature silk. I cannot really see what is now. Is that
linen.
linen?
Linen. I think that this must be it.
Silk. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think that works.
Yes. And the silicone's under that.
Is that your mulberry paper? Yeah. Number 2. Yeah. Wild dragon. Wild dragon. Yes. Yeah. What temperature do you set it on?
180 Fahrenheit is about silk, or lower than silk. It depends on the iron. So now it's almost done. You can see there's no. This is the stain on the backing paper. It's okay. Still wet. I have to keep working because the paper was quite damp. Yeah, but the advantage is when paper is wet, it won't get wrinkles. If the paper is too dry, you have to sprinkle, use the water to give some moisture to work with.
And you can do that at any time?
Yeah, before mounting, just like iron a shirt, you need some moisture to yeah, you can come to
Before mount.
before yeah, just moisturize relax the painting.
Relaxes all the
Yeah.
fibers.
You should iron before you put this onto the silicone to get rid of the wrinkle, if any.
Is that the four layers of denim ironing?
Yeah. But felt is fine. You can see one layer of felt. Yeah. I didn't have the linen, the clothes with me, the padding I usually use at home. You see, this because the painting is still damp, so I have to keep working. Sorry, it's not dry enough. It's not dry enough. It will take longer because it's so wet.
And then it's on the silicone, and then you do a backing on that?
You can keep it on until it's transferred to a permanent support while you frame. You can put it on the backing paper we have. The permanent backing paper has a a cheese on one side, a smooth, shiny side on the back.
It's heavy.
Yeah. You can transfer on this paper. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. After
On the shiny side or
the rough side. Yeah, the rough side facing the back of the paint. It would clean on that side better.
You've packed our brains full.
Well, it would take more than a book to write everything, right? So that's why video is most efficient these days. I cannot really write on these things. Yeah. And even the camera cannot tell everything.
Your videos will mean a lot more to us now.
Yeah.
And we can fill in the other little bits.
Yeah. So video is my heritage in the future because my old masters, they don't really have any video left. That's because my teacher don't have any teaching videos, unfortunately. So that's why I do more videos to make up the gap. I have learned in person from many masters when I was young in China. But they don't have any videos at that time. I couldn't take a video. I have some pictures only.
So you're their heritage.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the
You're the book.
middle. I'm the transmitter of the old.
You're the book.
Yeah.
Okay, it's getting there.
Better.
Yeah. You can put the backing paper on and then turn it over. Kind of iron on the other side, but you see this. Because I have moisture on the felt, that's why you got wrinkles on the other side. That's a taboo when you
Move over.
You don't.
To move over.
Yeah, you don't.
You move your paper over.
It's okay. I use this paper to fan it. So you can put another.
The blue
Yeah.
and the brown comes out so beautifully as it dries.
Right. Because it dries lighter as watercolor. So this is what I do.
This wonderful place right here.
So you put a dry sheet under it, so that moisture shouldn't become steam. And water is a big problem, but it sometimes helps if you use it. You have to manage the water, throughout the process, painting and dry mounting. Moisture is very important.
It's still
Oh, I see. It's okay. Now, this is dry enough. I think this is stamped there. You have to do that.
Don't forget your red back. Because if you do, if you're going to be that happy, you just call the whole day wash.
Hi, and do you have something? Huh? Oh, you can. Okay. Try safely. Thank you. Do you want to take a picture of this finished work? Have you? Yeah, you can take a picture. You have any food.
See whether the difference is the size paper you get this scratchy foamy look to it. Right, beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Drive safely. Yeah. So that's how we got the mist and the clouds. Yeah. The mist is not white. Cloud is white. Yeah. Got the idea? Yeah. And you keep iron. Just make sure it firmly.
You've got a long way to go, I know. Oh, that would be wonderful.
Well, we have another painting we would like to see what happens. So stay tuned. Let me put this aside for a minute. Let me see the other painting in front of camera for the record.
That's going to be really wet.
Yeah. Yeah, this is still wet. We cannot see the white. It's still, this part should be white.
Dryer on it.
Yeah, we can use a hair dryer to dry it, so you can see the effect.
The gold is terrific, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, sorry about the noise. Let's see.
Are you done with the iron?
No,
Or you already pulled it out?
Yeah, you can use the iron.
Oh, that's all right. I was just wanted to get out of the way.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that dries it. You can now add more ink or layers like the distance mountain.
Well, you can do that. Anyway, because it also connected to the grooves and different.
Oh, yeah, that's good. So you started with a photo, did you? I mean, not a photo, but a...
Reference, this is a handout, yeah.
So you had a concept.
Yeah. Just like the valley of
okay.
Yellow Mountain. We call it the West Sea. The clouds there, they called seas, 4 seas. The West Sea, Yellow Mountain. Yeah, this is what I tried to paint.
And what is so like the so it's sort of laminated. So let's look at
the black is not enough after the water wash, so I added back some.
What is this? Is that blue?
The blue ink, yeah, the Japanese ink, blue ink. Doing the black. Black is the blue ink from this bottle. Yeah. It's concentrated ink.
Do you prefer that generally?
I prefer it because it has a very nice shade, blue tone when it's diluted.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's cold, like blue. Yeah, blue color. It's not really blue. It's a cold gray.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not really blue, like a blue color. Just a cold it means. Instead of brown,
Did you get that for you?
yeah, I have this. I just ordered some from Japan. They have to send express mail. That's the only way to get it. So it's 40 something per bottle, but you dilute it 40 times. You can dilute it 40 times.
Canadian Tai Chi Association. So you should find something with no problem.
It's different from West.
Yes,
I
it
think bag is
is.
dry.
Yeah. Yeah, it tones it down when it's dry.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The layers.
Yes.
You have to know.
Okay, that's okay. I have a file. If I were to store it, exact word to store it. Store it. It must be stored. For sure.
There's a landmark called the Welcome Guest Pine, 迎客松. Welcome Guest Pine with a long arm.
Yes, I have seen those.
Yeah,
It needs to be very cold for those to grow, right?
Yeah. It has like 1,000 years old.
Welcome guest pine.
Yeah. Clean the
Right.
palette. Okay, I think that's about it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, that little bit of realism just does it. It anchors it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the really.
What?
They said the most valuable part in Zhang Daqing's pouring ink is the little realistic tree of our
Yes.
dwellings.
Yes.
That's
I love because the viewer
Yeah.
gets to work.
yeah.
It's just
yeah.
not all put out in front of you.
Right.
You gotta.
Right. Okay.
Oh, it has wonderful atmosphere.
Yeah, that's atmospheric.
Atmospheric.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the idea of
And the
it.
Naples yellow at the top is so interesting.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
Naples yellow, yeah.
I find that a very fascinating pigment for some reason. I don't know why, because it's so opaque and you can get into so much trouble with it. But when it works, it's just fabulous.
Yeah,
You can't mix something that does that.
yeah, it's something very light, but has the body to it. Your watercolor is.
Yes.
Oh, that's why you know color better than me. That's usually done near the horizon, and then you can have French ultramarine or into it on the upper skies. Usually.
This is so atmospheric. I love
Yeah.
it. I've learned so much. I can't begin to thank you enough.
Thank you.
I've learned
I learned
so
also.
much. A lot of things have come together for me.
Great.
And seeing day after day, it takes a while to get on the same frequency with someone, you know.
Yeah.
And this has just been outstanding. I intend to produce some great paintings from this. Setting that intention right now.
Thank you for your comments. And
It's a big trip for you, I know, and we do appreciate it.
You get to go home now?
we go home on Friday. We'll tour the museums, the art center, the National American Watercolor Society annual
Yeah, exhibit.
exhibition, international show. That's very.
In Punta Gorda or the one here? The one in Punta Gorda? Yeah, it's lovely.
You mean the art center show?
There's a watercolor show in Punta Gorda.
Oh, I don't know. The art center, I think. The
National Art Center in Punta Gorda.
yeah, we're going there right after this today.
Oh, nice.
So,
Art show in Punta Gorda. No.
I love that.
From the watercolor
You have to paint a lot of realistic paintings before you can paint a painting
Yeah.
like that. People don't understand that.
you,
They say, well, everybody can do this, but not everybody can do that. But it's the reverse.
Yeah.
You have to do this first.
right.
Do
Yeah.
this.
Exactly.
You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to learn how to free your mind. And you can't free your mind until you learn the strokes.
And it's still the design element, which, you know, I love the way you hit on that the first day, that first stroke, I mean, you set your course.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Very beautiful.
Show the audience on Facebook. This is a complete painting after we touch it up a little bit. Right, it's too big to show the whole picture, unfortunately. This is the top part. Let me put it horizontally, and you can turn your phone maybe vertically to see this. Okay, thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.